we are still in the rural areas. You cannot come to the rural areas and escape getting in touch with memories. We are here at a shrine of our dear parents who have gone ahead of us. May God rest their souls. And we first come here at this particular point to appreciate and to thank God on this beautiful, beautiful Christmas morning, when we remember that our dear parents prepared this place for us. Indeed, it is our dear parents who had the insight to leave in place a botanical garden and to spare and protect the indigenous trees. So we would want to remember them and to thank God on this Christmas morning for our dear parents who have been promoted to higher glory, and we shall meet them up yonder. So as we do that, we appreciate that in a rural area there are many memories, and this is one of them. Therefore, may God rest their souls continually in eternal rest until we shall meet again. In the meantime, because we have been left behind, it is our responsibility to take care of nature. The foundation that our parents put are very important to be preserved. Therefore, you follow me. This is Education Without Borders. Then I'll take you to a botanical garden. Keep learning to respect those who have gone ahead of us, and to also let their wishes to continue. We have learned that we need to respect those who laid a foundation for us, and more importantly, what pleases Christ is to make sure that their genuine wishes are taken forward, and that we also take the mantle to the generations that will come after us. After all, we are also not here permanently. We shall also follow them, but in the meantime, may their wishes be propagated to the next generation. Therefore, that is the whole purpose of coming to this shrine, to respect those who left a legacy and left a very strong foundation and protected this botanical garden of indigenous forest. Keep watching, and we appreciate that today is Christmas Day, but more importantly, it is good to also relive the memories of what it used to be when our parents were there. May God rest their soul in eternal peace, and may we continue propagating and taking forward their wishes. Have a very Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year, even as you follow me to the botanical garden on my left. God bless you. That's the botanical garden. So the botanical garden is not far from the shrine. It's right next to the shrine. And if you follow me, I'll take you to this beautiful botanical garden of mainly indigenous trees. This is Education Without Borders, bringing you a very Merry Christmas and celebrating it in a unique manner. Let's learn to celebrate in unique manner that is real, that is original, that is not necessarily based on the urban, based on the rural. We want to populate this space, the digital space, with indigenous local. Keep watching, keep learning. We shall be back. Welcome to Education Without Borders, and Merry Christmas, everyone. Today I want us to get in touch with nature. Welcome to a botanical garden which has indigenous trees. Follow me and we shall celebrate this Christmas season away from the rural areas, away from the urban areas to the rural areas. And in particular, we want to talk about a botanical garden which has indigenous trees which have been preserved for hundreds of years. We would like to pay tribute to those who preserved this botanical garden, because without their insight, this would have been cut down. And now we have a garden that is able to educate the next generations on what is indigenous tree. So you follow me, I'll show you a mogumo tree, the famous fig tree, mogumo tree. There's also a moiri tree whose bark has medicinal properties. And I would welcome anybody interested in botany to come and partner with us so that we can identify and label the indigenous trees which are in this botanical garden. Welcome to our botanical garden. It is in Madeira constituency, Nyeri County, a place called Mathaithi. That is where we are, and we are in touch with nature on this beautiful, beautiful Christmas morning. Have a Merry Christmas, enjoy the Christmas, and join us as we celebrate God's wonderful creation. Thank you. This is Education Without Borders. Keep watching and keep learning. We shall be back, but follow me as I take you through the botanical garden of indigenous trees. In this Christmas day, on this Christmas day, we want to celebrate Christmas in the rural areas with local content. We are at a rural area, and we have decided that we need to also remember the reason for the season. As we celebrate, we can celebrate also by looking at God's nature, the wonders. Behind me, you can see a tree that is a very old tree. In fact, if you come around, you see that it's almost getting rotten, and it's very old. It is more than 100 years old, because from the history of the people who were born around this area, they found these trees there. And therefore we want to thank God and to remember that Christ came so that we may remember all the good things. He said he came to bring good tidings. One of the things that we celebrate is nature. And we celebrate not only in urban areas, but in the rural areas as well. In the rural areas, we may not have very many places for people to do merrymaking, but you can still enjoy Christmas by getting in touch, getting close with nature, appreciating. If you follow me closely, I'll take you to a mogumo tree, which is equally as old. A mogumo tree is also referred to as a fig tree. So behind me is a mogumo tree, and as you can see, it's very well rooted. It has very many roots, and it's able to really support itself. And it is interesting because most of the time you'll find a mogumo tree actually really enriches the soil around it. This is a very fertile place, as you can see from the vegetation. So there's a mogumo tree. Let me get closer to the mogumo tree so that you can appreciate. It has a very elaborate system of roots, as seen. I am standing next to a mogumo tree or a fig tree, which is an indigenous tree. on this Christmas Day. Christmas is a time to remember, to thank God for sending his son Jesus Christ to come and forgive our sins and give us life in abundance. You cannot have an abundant life without taking care of the nature. A mogumo tree, and this area has been preserved by the owners for sustaining indigenous trees so that the generations that you come after us will learn that they are indigenous trees which needs to be preserved. So as we go around, you'll find very many other indigenous trees. They are all older than any of us watching this place. So this is one of them. I will take you to an indigenous tree. This one has medicinal. The skin has medicinal. So you see the skin is medicinal, used to be used traditionally. It's a moiri which has medicinal properties, and I would encourage researchers to visit, to start asking themselves, what was the wisdom of government preserving indigenous trees? So we have learned that you can enjoy and have merry Christmas without necessarily being in the urban areas, being in congested areas. You can have a very merry Christmas in a natural environment. Keep watching and keep learning. We shall be connecting you to nature. And the best way to connect you to nature is to temporarily migrate from the urban to the rural. This is Education Without Borders. We have gotten in touch with indigenous trees, which should be preserved. This is a moiri tree, medicinal. The skin is medicinal. You can Google that and find out what do researchers say, what is documented about the skin of a moiri tree. Thank you very much for watching. This is Education Without Borders. Keep watching and keep following. We shall be back.